An about-face tonight, the leader of the Bosnian Serbs accepts the U.S. brokered peace agreement. And American troops spend Thanksgiving waiting for word to head for the Balkans. A foot soldier in the Republican Revolution challenges the general to deliver on a promise. And tonight, Eye on America, the legacy of a man who taught so many how to beat impossible odds.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Good evening and happy Thanksgiving. Dan is off tonight. I'm John Roberts. Another key player signed off today on the Bosnia peace plan. Under extreme pressure from Serbia, Bosnian Serb leader Radovan Karadzic knuckled under and agreed. After the deal is formally signed next month in Paris, 60,000 U.S. and other NATO troops will start rolling into the Balkans. Mark Phillips has our first report.
Secretary of Defense William Perry was in the former Yugoslavia today, in Macedonia, where American troops have been maintaining a quiet vigil, an advance guard for the 20,000 who are supposed to go into Bosnia to enforce the peace. And even he was sounding a cautious note.
I believe it will be difficult to implement the peace agreement. That is why we are sending such a strong military force.
So far, it seems only the innocents are convinced the peace will work. These are orphans in Sarajevo, parents killed in the war. Here, there is hope.
This is the greatest day of our people of Bosnia for peace.
As part of the plan, the sanctions which have crippled Serbia proper have now been officially lifted. This was the great incentive for Serbian President Milosevic, who signed the deal on behalf of all Serbs, including those in Bosnia, even if the people of Belgrade are unsure what was given away in the process.
About the sanctions, that's great. But what we signed, really don't know.
The people who do know and who don't like it one bit are the Serbs in areas around Sarajevo, which will fall under the Muslim-controlled central government under the deal. Bringing them on side will make or break this peace, and they've scuttled deals before. The people who run the Sarajevo orphanages are clinging to hope, but their fate, like that of the children, is in other people's hands. Mark Phillips, CBS News, London.
Committing U.S. troops to Bosnia was still very much on President Clinton's mind today as he left the White House for a Thanksgiving dinner at Camp David. Mr. Clinton will be spending part of the time there working on his Monday night speech to the nation, appealing for public and congressional support for the U.S. peacekeeping mission in Bosnia. At their base in Germany, Bosnia-bound U.S. soldiers chowed down on a Thanksgiving feast today and wondered where they'll be for Christmas. Alan Pizzi reports.
In the mess hall named after Elvis Presley, who once served here, it was Thanksgiving streamers and officers in dress uniforms dishing up the turkey today. It was also a chance for General William Nash, who will lead these men into Bosnia, to come and talk turkey.
The biggest thing is make sure you get the proper equipment for it, that you wear it right, you don't let your feet get wet, okay? Okay. And then take care of yourself, okay?
Everywhere he went, the question was, when are we going? Even the general in charge was unable to answer that one.
We're all watching the news, you know, like you are, and I may be ahead of you, but only by a couple of hours sometimes.
With so much uncertainty in the air, the general was on a mission to boost everyone's morale.
You know, in the bottom of your heart, you really, you don't want them to go, but we know our husbands, they're soldiers first, and we just got to be there to support them.
You bring us strength.
Those who must bear the burden of waiting say Americans who doubt this mission should be told the same thing they tell their kids.
Because we have always grown up hoping that there would be world peace. I think that every American grows up hoping that. And this is a part of that puzzle.
The man tasked with solving a chunk of that puzzle is adamant there are no time constraints on the job.
We will establish the conditions that will allow the policymakers to make subsequent decisions, and we'll go from there. I haven't been given a deadline.
By the time the next big holiday rolls around, the vehicles and equipment of the 1st Armored Division may well be covered in the snow and mud of Bosnia, but there are few around here who think it should be any different. Helping the cause of peace, they say, is as American as Thanksgiving. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, Buddingen, Germany.
Straight ahead, campaign reform. Meet a Republican first-timer in Congress who won't follow the leader of her own party. And it's the first Thanksgiving in Oklahoma City since the day the bomb went off. That story also ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News.
Presto has a great idea.
Salad sugar helps you every day.
Presto has a great big idea. Professional salad shooter slicer shredder. Big capacity, holds a lot, shoots a lot. Powerful, fast, a variety of cutting blades so you can point and slice thick, slice thin, shred right into the bowl, even ripple cut. Chop, grate right where you want. Clean up easy, dishwasher safe, store anywhere.
Salad shooter.
Original, professional, and now professional salad shooter plus from Presto.
Patty, I got the wrong cheese.
Real Italian meals don't begin
What were you thinking?
without the Parmesan cheese that's always 100% Parmesan. No fillers. Kraft 100% grated Parmesan cheese. Now you can eat.
Hey, Remington, shave this.
The newest Remington Triple Foil. The only shaver with 3 micro screens now has a 50% greater cutting rate for a close, smooth shave. The Remington Triple Foil. If you can grow it, we can shave it.
The estranged husband of Utah's Republican Congresswoman Enid Waldholtz is reportedly considering a plea bargain deal with prosecutors. Published reports today said Joseph Waldholtz may agree to help prosecutors who are investigating the couple's personal and campaign finances. The Congresswoman says she was unaware of any financial wrongdoing. Another first-time Republican Congresswoman is also causing a good deal of embarrassment to the party over campaign financing, but in a very different way. Linda Douglas has that story.
First-term congressmen have been Newt Gingrich's shock troops in the Republican Revolution. None is more fiercely committed to the cause than Washington State's Linda Smith.
I don't have anything to lose in fighting hard.
Gingrich admires such zealotry, but now Smith has focused her fervor on the Speaker himself.
I've tried to encourage him to action.
Her crusade to reform the political system, to restrict the influence of political action committees and special interest money in campaigns. But Gingrich left that issue out of the contract with America.
And one of the greatest myths of modern politics is that campaigns are too expensive. The political process, in fact, is underfunded. It is not overfunded.
The American people do not want this system bought. They do not want PACs to buy it.
So Smith has taken Gingrich on publicly in the New York Times, and she's allied herself with Ross Perot, who's promised to protect her from her enemies.
And if anybody starts to pull your chain, you tell them they better be in a deep bunker when we get there, okay? Great.
As co-sponsor of bipartisan campaign reform legislation, she's threatening to make an end run around congressional leaders to force a vote. During one heated meeting, another Republican congressman called her an idiot.
KIRO 710, Congressman Linda Smith is my guest, taking on Newt Gingrich himself. Do you have a death wish or something?
I'm taking on the system, David.
She's confident the country is with her. People who've watched Smith's career say she's using the same tactics that helped another brash politician make his name.
She's, in short, doing to Newt Gingrich what Newt Gingrich used to do to other people.
Smith chuckles at the advice Gingrich gave her recently.
He implied I needed to be more patient. I thought in the back of my mind, but Newt, you weren't patient.
Under pressure from Smith and others, the House just voted to prohibit members from taking gifts. But Smith calls that a baby step. And she says Republicans who fail to heed her calls for reform may pay the price at the polls next year. Linda Douglas, CBS News, Washington.
While it's Republican versus Republican on campaign reform, another hot issue has some influential House Republicans coming down on the same side as the Russians. Specifically, some House Republicans are objecting to the global agreement to ban industrial chemicals, widely believed to be depleting the Earth's ozone layer, because they dispute the scientific evidence. We have a reality check tonight to clear the air from correspondent Eric Engberg.
The Earth's ozone layer. Its depletion has been studied and studied. Concern is so great that 150 countries have signed a treaty banning production of ozone-depleting chemicals called CFCs at the end of this year. To the number 3 Republican in the House, it's Chicken Little stuff.
The bottom line is ozone depletion has not been proven.
Time out. Not proven. Didn't this year's Nobel Prize in Chemistry go to Dr. Mario Molina and 2 others who discovered ozone depletion?
Scientists are no longer debating that. It's very clear that ozone is being depleted, and it's also very clear that the depletion is of human origin.
Unimpressed, DeLay and other House Republicans are using their newfound clout to push bills allowing the U.S. to ignore the CFC ban and actually violate the World Treaty.
We are driving up the cost of living to American families by banning CFCs and banning them based on little or no science.
Never mind that the companies which make and use CFCs support the ban.
Industry believed that there was such a scientific consensus that ozone depletion was real that we had no choice but to act responsibly and chart an appropriate course for the phase out of CFCs.
This is still a theory. There are still some questions. Data has been collected incorrectly.
Key committees have held hearings to challenge ozone findings, part of a drive by conservatives who believe science has been abused just to push regulation.
What we've seen is an example of liberal arrogance in the area of scientific research.
Alarmed at the threat to the CFC ban, the White House says breaking the treaty will damage international efforts to protect the environment.
I believe this is one scientific issue where the world genuinely believes the science is absolutely solid. And if we want to look like laughingstocks, this would be one of the best ways to do it.
Congress once had its own unit of scientific advisors to study such matters. The Republicans have shut it down. Eric Engberg, CBS News, Washington.
Season's greetings from Maxwell House.
As long as the world is a little warmer this time of year, as long as elves outnumber Scrooges, just as long as the best gifts come without ribbons or tags, Maxwell House will always be good to the last drop.
Give them an edge. Give them attitude. Give them Arizona. It's not just a look, it's a state of being. The original Arizona Gene Company is about individuals who dance to their own beat and listen with their hearts. Arizona. Cool gifts, cool prices. It's what to give if you get it. Only at JCPenney.
It happens in the hospital. It happens at home. When heartburn flares up, the #1 choice of hospitals is fast-acting Maalox. Hospitals can count on it for speed, and that's just what you need. Maalox, the first choice for hospitals, the fast choice for home.
These vegetables are about to be perfectly steamed, like food has never been steamed before, in the Black & Decker Handy Steamer. Because deliciously steamed food requires perfect timing.
Stuck in traffic, looking for a way out? Maggie Bryant found one. She built her own toll road.
14.5 miles.
Why is she doing it? Because the government can't keep up. Just ask the Transportation Secretary.
It's not pretty. You can see highways that are not constructed very well.
One solution, private highways like Maggie's. Would you pay to use them? Tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
Temporarily escaping her royal family and domestic troubles at home, Princess Diana began a visit to Argentina today. In her new self-declared role as a roving British Goodwill ambassador, Diana talked with patients at a children's hospital and polio clinic. British futures trader Nick Leeson was returned to Singapore today to stand trial for fraud and forgery. Leeson arrived from Germany, where he was jailed for 9 months before agreeing to extradition. While based in Singapore, Leeson allegedly engineered $1.4 billion in bad deals that triggered the collapse of Barings, Britain's oldest bank. This week's election of former communist Alexander Kwasniewski as president of Poland was encouraging news indeed for communists in Russia. Opinion polls already show the revived Communist Party could outpoll all others in next month's parliamentary elections. Moscow correspondent Tom Fenton has more on a party banking on backlash.
When the American star Hammer kicked off the campaign for one of the country's new parties, it took Russians by surprise. Like a lot of things that have changed here, many people just aren't ready for the glitzy selling of candidates. comparison, the Communist Party looks like an anachronism, an aging army of party faithful who refuse to believe that communism is dead. The surprising thing is, they're right. The communists are making a remarkable comeback here.
Polls show they are now the most popular party in Russia. And along with their nationalist allies, the communists stand a good chance of controlling the new parliament after next month's election. How is it that a party that only a few years ago was widely despised and officially banned has suddenly come back from the dead?
Not with slick campaign ads. The communists look dowdy and old-fashioned. But that's their appeal. They symbolize what many Russians now remember as the good old days. Antonina Nikitishna remembers communism as a time when her railroad worker's salary could still put meat on the table, even if she had to stand in line to get it. Sure, we didn't have mountains of sausage in the shops, she says, and now the stores have things. But what's the point if you can't afford it? For many older Russians like Antonina, democracy and reform have meant poverty and crime. Back in communist times, she says, there was discipline. Now you can be murdered just walking on the street, and not even the police will care. Communist leader Gennady Zyuganov is tapping into that discontent. He promises to slow down economic reform, increase pensions, bring back the Soviet Union, and make it a superpower again. Turning back the clock on reforms won't be easy, but Russians believe the communists will try. That's exactly why so many are prepared to vote for them. Tom Fenton, CBS News, Moscow.
Pope John Paul went back to the mafia stronghold of Sicily today to denounce organized crime and demand an end to killing. John Paul celebrated Mass for 35,000 people at a stadium in Palermo, among them relatives of judges assassinated by the mafia. The Pope also told a church meeting that his call for the killing to stop is a, quote, cry from the heart.
They may try to tell you one size fits all.
Perfect fit.
But long-distance plans that charge you one price per minute don't always save your business money over AT&T.
Love it.
In fact, this call comparison proves that you don't always save with other carriers.
Yeah.
No matter what they offer you. Only AT&T guarantees a competitive price. Call 1-800-COMPARE. If you don't agree, we'll give you 1 month's worth of long distance, up to $500.
Perfect.
Today you can't count on much, but you can count on AT&T for the life of your business.
Monday, I soak my dentures. Tuesday, I brush. Wednesday, I...
Stop! Denture Cream really cleans dentures, and its new Mouthwash Fresh formula has more minty mouthwash ingredients. Denture Cream.
Every day.
Now with new Mouthwash Fresh formula.
These vegetables are about to be perfectly steamed, like food has never been steamed before, in the Black & Decker Handy Steamer. Because deliciously steamed food requires perfect timing.
The fact that dairy foods and my stomach don't agree won't keep me from enjoying every bite of ice cream. Now, before I eat dairy, I just take Lactaid Extra Strength, stronger than the rest. New Lactaid Extra Strength has 50% more of the natural ingredient that helps make dairy foods more digestible. Cherry, chocolate, vanilla.
New Lactaid Extra Strength. Call 1-800-HELP-KID for a free sample and information.
It begins with a sound you can feel. Over 200 horses, powerful, almost angry. It knows your mind with steering that feels your speed. It's a new Pontiac Bonneville. So strong, so passionate. It takes the old idea of spending thousands more for a European performance sedan and leaves it at the side of the road. The new Pontiac Bonneville.
Stuck in traffic, looking for a way out? Maggie Bryant found one. She built her own toll road. Private highways like Maggie's. Would you pay to use them? Eye on America tomorrow.
Some time ago, we introduced you to an extraordinary man named Bob Stone, who put together a group called the Buffaloes to help him in his fight against cancer. We are sorry to report that Stone passed away last week, but he leaves quite a legacy, as Dr. Bob Arnott reports in tonight's Eye on America.
His prognosis is very grim.
When Bob Stone was diagnosed with kidney cancer nearly 6 years ago, doctors told him he had only 3 months to live. That, he said, was unacceptable.
You can't deny the diagnosis, but you can defy the outcome.
Hey, John. Bob Stone put together an anti-cancer arsenal. Not only did he undergo surgery and receive the most aggressive drug therapy available, but he then created the Buffaloes, a team of friends and family whose mission was to help him try to wipe out the cancer.
The reason we picked the Buffaloes was because it was a dying breed, but it's making a comeback now. I asked for the Buffaloes to pray for me, and it made a big difference. We sent out bumper stickers that said R.T. Stone Buffaloes, undefeatable champs. And I asked my friends and my family to send pictures of themselves, to send me funny stories. So my immune system never shut down. The fact that I had all this love and concern and caring from people just made a huge difference in the way I healed.
For 5.5 years, Bob Stone defied the odds. His cancer was in remission until last year. All that time, he felt life was a gift to cherish.
You've just got to concentrate and stay focused on the time that you have, and if you make the most out of that, then life is going to be wonderful.
Last week, Bob Stone's battle with cancer ended. At his funeral, a herd of buffalo, 1,000 strong, celebrated his life and gave thanks to a man who forever changed so many other lives.
He was about helping other people. His needs, his desires, his wants were very secondary.
There are probably hundreds, maybe thousands of people out there who've been affected by Bob, and I mean directly.
I'm reminded of what Winston Churchill said. He said, you make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give. And I think that's Bob Stone.
I think Buffaloes go beyond that.
And this is his legacy. Libby Easton is one of hundreds of cancer survivors inspired by Stone to form Buffalo teams of their own. Her cancer is now in remission.
I can tell you that it was as much a part of my healing as any chemicals that they stuck in my veins or any surgeries that they did on my body.
Roger and Kingelow Hard also formed a team for their 11-year-old daughter, Chelsea, who had cancer.
It gives you the strength, both personally and our daughter, to get up each day and keep going.
And celebrate life. Not just live, but celebrate.
It was his indomitable spirit that we began to see in our own daughter.
And there's Joe Martin. He started a team to help battle his Lou Gehrig's disease.
Bob helped remind me of how good my life is. Not just how good it can be, how good it is.
Well, I think it's the ultimate Thanksgiving message. He was thankful to the end for everything he had, and he was dying. So it's not hard for me to be thankful.
Bob's wife, Jeannie, says the struggle made them stronger.
We have grown and we have loved and we have lived, and in a way that we would not ever have been able to do had it not been for that cancer.
You can either feel sorry for yourself and buy into a lot of negative thoughts, or you can pray for strength and go after it.
It's a message for Buffalo, wherever they may roam. I'm Dr. Bob Arnott for Eye on America.
How much closer do our precision heads help shave beneath the skin? How much closer does our innovative groove make Norelco's lift and cut system? How much better is the latest Norelco razor? We think you'll find it's never brought you closer. The Norelco razor, our closest shave ever.
In the mood for something wild? Have a fiesta from Campbell's. The soup with a spicy mix of rousing rice, colorful carrots, and the pizzazz of sweet red peppers. You'll fall for the flavor.
So at Jenny's school play, I get this cough. Somebody handed me these Robitussin cough drops. They worked right away, and I could feel those vapors. Robitussin took the spotlight off me and put it where it belonged.
Robitussin cough drops from the cough experts.
Finally, great popcorn from your microwave. Power Pop. Presto Power Pop Microwave Multi-Popper. Exclusive power-based concentrates microwaves to pop virtually every kernel. Pop with oil for a buttery flavor. Power Pop. Pop without oil for a healthier, low-fat snack. A third cup of popcorn, 3 quarts of crunch. Other microwave poppers can't measure up. See? Dishwasher safe, too. Nothing pops like Power Pop. That's why it's endorsed by Orville Redenbacher. Power Pop puts power in the pop. From Presto.
Because of the quality care standards, take care of a customer is more than just fixing a car. Can you describe the noise? It's a little. It's about listening, it's about communication. It's about getting the customer more involved. We'll call you about 10:30, 11. How many miles do you have on the car? You have to ask the right questions. You have to let them know that you're committed. We want you to be a customer for life. Your keys. And we thank you very much for doing business with us.
Quality care people, quality care standards at your Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer.
This Thanksgiving is an especially difficult time in Oklahoma City, where so many families were shattered by the bombing of the federal building last April. But Oklahoma City has not been forgotten by the American family, as correspondent Scott Pelley reports.
Kylie Williams will never know her father.
I had a feeling that Scott was there.
On April 19th, Scott Williams was making a delivery to the daycare center.
I pretty much knew that he was gone.
Months later, Nicole Williams gave birth to the youngest victim of the bomb.
Father, help us to have a good Thanksgiving.
It's a holiday of mixed blessings.
What have you learned about America?
There's a lot more good out there than there is bad.
$100, $20.
After 7 months, the checks keep coming.
That's from Ohio. This is from Florida.
Faster than they can spend it. $25 million so far, half of it still waiting in the bank.
Many people are surprised to hear there's so much money left. Just as many are surprised to see that the bomb site still looks like this. This disaster is not like a flood or a hurricane where homes are rebuilt and families move on. For those who survived this flash of hate, there is frustration now and years of recovery ahead.
I get $96 a week from unemployment, which runs out in 2 weeks.
Shirley Swager lost her job in the Federal Building coffee shop. Now the electric company is about to cut her off.
I can do without water, maybe. Or
she's come to the Red Cross.
You sold your wedding rings.
Yes.
That must have been hard.
It was. It's real hard. But you got to do what you got to do to survive.
I'm going to go ahead and pay your utility bills for
all right. Oh, that's a relief.
7 months later, you're still getting new people looking for assistance?
Things take time, and we have to be patient, and we have to be patient with the process. I've said lots of times we can heal bodies a lot sooner than we can heal souls.
Scott loved holidays, and so it's going to be a hard day.
Donations paid for Scott Williams' funeral. Another fund will pay for the college education of Kylie and 167 other children.
He was a wonderful, wonderful man, and loved her, you know, and I know he's watching over us.
It is Thanksgiving Day in Oklahoma, where even now, hearts grieve, souls mend, and a generous nation cannot forget. Scott Pelley, CBS News, Oklahoma City.
And that's the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather will be back again tomorrow. I'm John Roberts in New York. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a good night.
CBS News. Have you seen your country today?